Hey, this is Stephanie Miller. Be sure to tune into my show Monday through Friday, 8 to 11 a.m. But right now, keep listening to The Family Meeting on Chicago's Progressive Talk, WCPT, AM and FM.
So one of us said something.
Yeah, no more.
That's not even a stanza of the song. So one of us said something that made the phone start ringing, or the football game is over, or whatever happened. Welcome back. The number 773-763-9278. Abdel Shakur is our guest today.
That's right.
Teacher in Evanston, my man. Writer. Bad feet, though. That's bad feet, man.
They're innocent feet, man. They're innocent.
Innocent.
They're innocent.
Okay, I've never known innocent feet, but I've also never known crime-ridden feet either.
Free from judgment.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, I almost forgot, Eric. I wanted to bring up. Hey, man. Carmen Ruffin.
Carmen got married. So for all y'all nasty people out there that was fiending over Carmen, she's off the market.
Yeah, she got married Saturday.
That's right.
Went over to a wedding at the Polo Cafe.
At the Polo, right?
Yeah, Polo Cafe, man. It was pretty nice. First time I went.
She called me about it, but I was traveling. I sure wanted to go to see that. I would make sure that she didn't change her mind. These are Carmen.
Yeah. I told the guy, Dave Samber. Is that his name? The owner?
Yeah, Dave. Yeah.
Dave was there. I seen him. He asked about you. You know,
Dave's a good guy. If you get a chance, go visit Polo Cafe over there. What's that neighborhood?
Bridgeport.
Bridgeport.
I
always get the name of the neighborhood.
Right.
Bridgeport. Go visit Polo Cafe.
Really nice.
It's an oasis over there, by the way.
Nice wedding, man. Carmen had a nice wedding.
They did it in the hall, right next door.
Yeah, it was next
with
door,
the stage and everything.
Yeah, it was really nice.
So Carmen's off the hook, y'all.
Yeah, Carmen got married, man.
She gone, man. She gone.
Yeah. Nice wedding.
Yeah,
my girl. Congratulations, Carmen.
Congratulations, Carmen. They doing a honeymoon?
I have no idea. You know.
Okay, well, don't say it. 773-763-9278. Let's hit a couple of calls here. Let's start with my girl. Shelly's calling. What's up, Shell?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
This is my girl, Shelly Davis from Howard.
Okay.
Right. She's calling all the way from Maryland right now. All the way out there in Maryland. But she's a North Carolina girl.
Right? That's right. That's right.
Country girl. Right. You did a great job the other day.
Not country, southern. Not country, I'm southern.
Yeah, it's a difference.
What's the difference?
What's the difference? Well, I mean, regionally, I'm from the South. I think country is a state of mind. Southern is where you're from. So I'm from Durham, North Carolina, in the Triangle area, and I think that is one of the more progressive areas in the South, certainly with all the educational institutions there, Duke, Carolina, North Carolina Central, Shaw, St. Aug.
Oh, boy, listen to her ramble on and on.
University of North Carolina, absolutely. You get people from all over the country that come here.
Well, who is country then?
Very diverse. Huh?
Who is country if y'all ain't country?
We're not. Now, there are some country places in North Carolina. However, I am not country. I'm from the South.
This is the science of country here. She's teaching us. This is a class on country. Country class.
There's some country places up here. Ain't Harvey country?
Exactly. Some of the country places I've ever seen are in New Jersey. So,
like where?
Well, I mean, New Jersey is the garden state, and it's really the farm state, if you ask me. There's a whole bunch of farming out there, you know, from backwoods.
I think that's the nuclear waste you see manifesting itself.
I'm talking about South Jersey.
Well, yeah, that's Philly's kind of country in some places, too. Yeah, I got you there. But, Shell, great job the other day at the game.
I appreciate that.
Now, so next time you do that, don't have me running around asking for checks. You either get up on the table and say, hand me the checks.
Well, you know, the reception was going on, but we also had a game going on. So I was running around making sure that we were all squared away for the big game.
Ain't nothing more important than getting the check, Shell. Don't let me have to come there and shake you.
I understand. Well, I'm a duplicate myself so I can have one person out there collecting checks. I tried to give you my spiel, you know, to make sure that I was representing us well and explaining what we were going to do with that money you were collecting for us, but you didn't want to hear it.
I ain't interested in that stuff. I ain't interested. Well, so listen, if you want me to do it next year, you know, I ain't afraid of nobody. I get up on the table and say, Shelly asked me to do this. Where is the money? Well, I don't care what you ain't got to know where it's going. Just give me the money.
Well, we had our president and our athletic director, Kerry Davis, asking for checks as well. So there was no need to hit y'all over the head 3 times.
They must have been sneaking around because I didn't see it. I actually went up to Dr. Frederick and I said, man, where's your check? I did it to him. Of course, he laughed at me.
Did he write one?
Not on the spot. I hope he gave you one later.
Oh, well, I'll check on that on Tuesday.
Okay, you remind him. I asked him about that check because he looked at me kind of cross-eyed. Like, yeah, you too, man. You too.
Funny.
Yeah. You want to add anything to our conversation today?
No, I've had the conversation, even in planning the Harvard game, there was a lot of discussion and people within the university community would make comments about Howard being the Black Harvard. And that was a huge debate. And we actually thought about introducing it to Black Twitter as a debate pregame to see what the response and what the conversation would be online about Howard specifically being called the Black Harvard. But, whenever people say that, I correct them and say that Harvard is the white Harvard. But, Howard stands alone. It's as prestigious as Harvard. Definitely the academic reputation of Howard stands alone. Its legacy, the alumni that have come through there. So I do take a little offense to the comment as well, but I don't think that Amaker, when he was quoted in the Post, I don't think he meant harm by it. I think it's just, I think he honestly thought he was paying us a compliment.
Yeah, because he's brainwashed into thinking that's a compliment. I get that. And again, it's not a knock on him. It's the way that the society indoctrinates him to say something like that, which is not completely inaccurate. But yeah, I got you. And again, for me, it's not that comment because that's it's not meaningful. What's more is what we teach our children in other parts of society when we say things like that. That's the problem for me.
Right. I agree. I agree.
All right. Now go back to bed, Shell.
No, I'm watching football, so I'm all up in this game pulling for the Steelers. So thank you for having me on.
Okay. I'll see you soon, girl.
All right. Bye.
All right. That's Shelly from Howard University. Let's get David from Glendale Heights. Dave, what's up, man?
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Happy New Year to all you gentlemen.
Likewise.
I was listening to your conversation earlier about people not understanding each other, people not really getting together. I'm 60 years old. I'll be turning 60 this February. And I was born in Chicago. I was raised on the West Side in the 50s and 60s. And I was raised with Irish, German, Italian, and also Black people. And I traveled quite a bit to Mexico, so I saw a lot of poverty. I saw a lot of starvation as I was young. I saw a lot of everybody. And what I found out was that pretty much everybody is the same. What I see nowadays is it got better. It was getting better through the 60s. It was getting better through the 70s. Because before, when I was a kid, everybody called each other a racial name around, and little at little, people started understanding, getting better with each other. But then the electronic media took over. And I think that isolated so many children and so many people from each other that nobody decided that they'd have to travel anymore. Nobody decided that they should go visit anymore. Nobody should decide they should go live with people anymore. So they just hit electronic media. There was a book called 1984 by George Orwell where everything was being fed to people through electronics. And that's where the point is right now. Electronics is not reality. Electronics is just a manipulation of reality of someone else's interpretation.
Wow,
So,
that's interesting because Abdel was talking earlier about trying to teach the kids, but them being distracted by their phones in their hands.
Exactly. And what I've seen in my 60 years now is electronic communication going up, but education, basic education, even geography, sociology, ethics, just gone, totally gone. And so now you have pockets of people who think of each other as legends, think of each other on electronic media, think of each other as stories, something you see on TV. There's no real substance. And so in order, they used to have something called a Peace Corps, that you would go and you would give a year of your life to go to a different country to see what the hardship in other countries and how what a blessing and a miracle this country is. But now everybody's so jaded, they have everything. Oh yeah, if I don't like something like that, I'm just going to switch it off. Well, it's made everybody lazy, and it's not the kids' fault. It's people who are my age's fault because we're the ones selling them this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And my advice to kids, get rid of it. Get rid of the stuff, and you may think it's a radical idea. Get rid of your computer, get rid of your phone, get rid of this, and go talk to people. Go talk to old people. Go talk to different people. Just talk. And that's the art that's gone. And now it's the people who are supposed to be our politicians, our elders, are not giving us a good example. These men who are all these Republicans, name calling, lying. These are the worst elements. These are like fifth columnists, they used to be called. The worst elements in this country come up. And so education, common sense,
Right.
and the basic things are what's needed once again, just to speak to people. Don't be afraid of people. And there's an old saying that fear is the mind killer. And it's very true. And so fear is being sold because they can sell everything through fear. So don't be afraid of people. Don't be afraid of black people. Don't be afraid of Mexican people. Don't be afraid of gay people. Don't be afraid of anybody. Because under this universe, under nature's eye, under God's eye, we're all the same. And we all end up the same.
Right.
But people think, they draw distinctions, they put you in pigeonholes. Just break out of that. Just throw your electronics away, go talk to people. I know it's a radical idea, probably won't do it, but that's my advice.
Well, probably not so much radical as impossible, but
so I'm going to let you guys talk, and I appreciate for you to letting me run on like this. And you guys always feel like family to me, because you guys, you talk your heart, and that's what's needed more often in this world. So God bless you and your families, and you have a good year, and God bless the earth. And like Tiny Tim said, God blesses everyone.
Cousin Dave said it best. Thanks, Dave.
Well, thank you, gentlemen. God bless you. Bye-bye.
See you. Probably not a radical idea as much as impossible to get rid of all the electronics. But here again, he's got a good point. Maybe you utilize the fact that they're plugged into electronics and trick them. Feed them information through electronics that kind of unbrainwashes them or teaches them a new positive brainwashing.
Yeah, positive brainwashing.
Well, I mean, an inclusive societal brainwashing.
I mean, I think on some level, though, I really wonder about that. Like, how can you do the kind of soul work you need to do with that device in front of you?
You ain't getting rid of it, though.
I mean, you know what? Because me and my wife have been having conversations about this. It's like we see where the technology is now.
Mm-hmm.
If you could just say, okay, let's just stop right here. This is it. Like whatever we got right now, we're going to just keep it right here. That might be okay. But what you see is like there's breadcrumbs being led for these kids now. You get a kid
technology, you mean?
Yeah, with technology, you give a kid an iPad at 2 years old.
The colonists thought the same thing in the 1700s when they had a musket with one bullet. Thought we've reached the crescendo of weapons. Mm-hmm. We can shoot one whole bullet.
Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, so what that tells you is that the growth curve, of course, has increased like exponentially. Like the technology, the advance of technology from when I was a kid to the way my kids are now is like it's
speeding up.
It's much more than like your man who got the musket and then 20 years later they got a musket and a new plunger. You know what I mean? Like this, it's just getting much faster. So I mean, the question is now, like even as you talk about race and other social issues, how do you, when you have your kids, how do you preserve that thing about them, that innocent thing about them? That's willing to learn, that's willing to be open, like he said, going to other places and experiencing other things. Because one of the things with kids now, you show them the moon launch or something, like say, oh, they went to the moon. They're like, okay, whatever. I mean, I got a video game that can do that, but they don't actually get that. Do you realize that they actually put a daggone moon? They went to the moon. Like that's incredible. Like you should be awed by that.
Right.
Like, and we should.
It's matter of fact now.
It's not because they have the knowledge or the skills or anything to do it. Their sense of awe has been deadened in that way. And if you don't have a sense of awe, then like you're saying, you're brainwashed or whatever. Like you want them to come to a new kind of consciousness.
Right. If
I never actually had the experience of being open to the world and experiencing something that has not been processed and managed for me, then how am I ever supposed to be able to really get something real out of that?
So you complicated it more with that, man. Okay, so I see Steve in Gold Coast. I see Charles. I see Devo on hold here. Devo's back, man.
Devo,
my man, Devo.
It's like both of ours, but we keep it at his house. That Devo?
No, not like that. Devo. Not knocked out. Not that Devo. Yeah. Let's wait till he gets on. The number is 773-763-9278. Stay tuned for more of the family meeting.
This is Lila, Eric's daughter. Keep listening to the family meeting.
This is Richard Chu, owner of First Capital Insurance Group, and my message: do what is doable. We each have a different measure of financial success. My mission is to help you define your financial goals in light of a realistic budget and time horizon. I want you to have a great year and a great life, but we have to keep it real. Is your retirement plan giving you the protection, interest rate, and cash you'll need in retirement? If you've had issues with your 401k, IRA, or other financial programs, give us a call. We have proven solutions and we can help. My direct number is 312-243-3907. Let's talk soon, or visit my website, firstcig.com. That's the number 1, stcig.com.
A basic and essential part of any financial plan is savings. Most of whatever cash you have will be there because you put it there, not necessarily because of some fancy investment. Now with Save and Plan, Polaris is introducing a new way for you to get empowering financial advice. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up to save, Polaris will help you develop a customized financial plan and give you a real person to speak with. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com and call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone.
Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
The Law Office of Darnell Lyles is ready to help you. Whether it's personal injury, criminal, DUI, and OWI, nursing home, product liability, it doesn't matter. Call 219-9399-LAW. That's 219-939-9529. That's right. When you're driving and get into a wreck. You better call Darnell. Had a few drinks too many? A cop hits you with a DUI or OWI? I think you better call Darnell. Arrested and facing criminal charges, misdemeanor or felony? I think you better call Darnell. Purchase a product that causes you or loved one harm? I think you better call Darnell. When your loved one is neglected and abused in a nursing home? I think you better call Darnell. That's right. You better call Attorney Darnell Lyles and get represented right. And the first consultation is free. Yes, free. So call right now. 219-939-9LAW. That's 219-939-9529. Attorney Darnell Lyles. Darnell Lyles.
When you talk to her like you want somebody. Talk to your mama. Don't get smart with her, have a heart-to-heart with her, just like you would with your daughter. 'Cause everything you do or say, you got to live with every day. She's somebody's baby, she's somebody's sister, she's somebody's mama.
This is Steve Casey, the MacArthur Foundation. Welcome back to the family meeting.
Yes, indeed. Number 773-763-9278. Shelly said I got to say it slow for the country people. 773-763-9278. I like that India Irie gig right there, man. That's good stuff. Rob tried to sing that too off the mic again. Yeah. Thanks, man, for that. Appreciate your rendition. Yeah, 773-763-9278. Let's get my man Steve from the Gold Coast. Steve, what's up, man?
Yes, I wanted to touch on two issues. One with regard to the previous caller, wanted to suggest that somehow, we're all living in sort of a virtual reality. Technology is like anything else. I mean, when he was a young man, you could have spent your days watching nonsense television, or you could have watched great educational television from PBS. I mean, a piece of technology is just a tool. What you choose to utilize it for and how you utilize it is what defines its value. So, I mean, there's nothing new about this. When given his age, when he was a young man, you could have read cheap, paperback novels and the sort of nonsense that was found on the comic strip page of a newspaper, or you could have read the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times or whatnot. It just depends on how you apply education and what you get out of it. So I certainly don't think that, education, rather technology on the whole, as it applies to education, has a downside. There's certainly the upside is much better than the downside with regards to how we're able to communicate with each other, convey information, It's great that people sometimes who cannot get around, or are too old, or who are disabled, can sit in front of a computer and take a class that's being broadcast to them from somewhere like Harvard University.
Yeah. So then, Steve, would you agree that probably it's as much the responsibility of those who are feeding data into those devices as it is the utilization? Because if you have an equal amount of useful and less than useful information, you have to stand a better chance of having better outcomes.
Well, I mean, what you're asking is an epistemological question, and it's one that we've been wrestling with for a long time. But at least at one point, we had an educational system whereby you just couldn't stick anything you wanted into a textbook. That it had to be vetted. That people who actually had some sort of scholarly background and research credentials, would look into what was being published, and that was out there. And it was what was taught. Now today, I mean, you've got an entire generation of young people. Well, and it's not just young people. There's also adults out there who think that, if they find it online, Joe Schmo's basement blog that contends that our president is a Kenyan double agent, secret Muslim double agent, that somehow is equivalent to the New York Times. And trying to get people to understand that just because somebody wrote it somewhere online does not make it a fact, does not make it true. This is where the whole birther thing came into being as a real following. There are tons of people who will tell you, you can go to such and such site and they'll prove to you that Barack Obama was never born in this country. No, you can go to Joe's basement blog site where Joe decided to put up a bunch of stuff that he got from some other idiot site. When you finally get to the source, you find out, guess what? There's no credibility to it. It's somebody's nonsense claim. And that's the difference between what is referred to as authoritative information and information. If I jump in a cab today and begin a conversation with the cab driver and talk about a pain that I'm having in my side, he might give me an opinion. That's fine. That's an opinion. If I go to Northwestern University Hospital and see a couple of doctors, that's authoritative opinion. What they think about the pain in my side after having done tests is the product of something that actually has validity and training behind it, has credentials behind it. So there's a difference, and we need to get that across to young people who think that all opinion is the same, and it's not all the same.
Right, but there's also an equal and opposite level of intellectual curiosity that has been diminished. Intellectual curiosity allows you to wonder if that cab driver, what he said, is worth thinking about. And there's too many people who take the word of the cab driver right now because they don't have the intellectual curiosity.
Absolutely. And they take it in a way that, I would argue that certainly some might take his word, more so if he decided to go home and put up his own blog, that what he said in a cab to you, you wouldn't consider for a moment as somehow valid. But, if he went home and stuck it on a blog, you might be more inclined, because as the old adage goes, if you write it down somewhere, people are willing to believe that it's gospel. It's that the written word is somehow magically conveying something as truth. Right. And that there's absolutely no validity necessarily behind that. And the last point I wanted to make was this whole question of Harvard versus other institutions. There are great institutions everywhere in this country, and I'm of the firm belief that a university education is predicated upon what you put into it, more so than the university itself. You attend a school and you're just there to get by, then that's what you're going to do. You can attend a average institution, but really, really devote yourself to the process of learning and enlightenment, and you can get a lot more out of it than a kid that attended the best school in the country. Having said all that, there really is nothing that compares to Harvard University because of its endowment, because of the class of scholarship that you can have there, because of the talent that they're able to recruit. People who are the best, who have written the cutting edge works in numerous fields, who want to be at Harvard, get to be recruited to teach there. So the Nobel Prize winners, the people who are doing the research, the huge endowment. Harvard has the largest endowment. It has an endowment larger than many nations in the world, actually.
Yeah, but Steve, I don't disagree that Harvard is a top flight institution. Well, I think where our conversation started is utilizing that phraseology to diminish other schools.
Well, and certainly that's where we'll go back to my original point. I think, that you can get a better education out of attending a Howard University when you apply yourself than the average Joe Blow can get out of attending Harvard if they don't apply themselves. Again, that's why I predicated the entire discussion upon that. Having said that, all things being equal, if you're willing to dedicate yourself to pursuing intellectual enlightenment, a great education, you have opportunities simply because Harvard is Harvard. There is no place that's comparable to Harvard because of the talent, because of the research dollars,
No doubt.
because of the facility.
No doubt.
And that's like comparing, a high school football team to, the Super Bowl champions, like the New York Patriots over the last 10
You
years.
heard that? Abdel heard that now. What'd you hear?
That. Well, I mean, you just did the thing, right? Like you said, you made Howard High School and you made the Harvard the Super Bowl champion Patriots, which is the thing that I think that Eric's objecting to, where you kind of that is literally diminishing because there's nowhere near the same level of play. That's not even college.
And that's why we rank in this country.
I know, but I guess what I'm saying is the conversation is about how you just used two words that you said, we rank. Right. And so the question is,
as a society.
Well, now you threw another word in there. I'm saying you got we, rank, and society. And all of those, there's an undercover, like you say, there's dog whistle things about whiteness that, when you talk about the we, who is actually doing the ranking? And when you talk about what is representative of society, a lot of times it has to do with whiteness. If you say you got your Joe Blow and you got your other kid who really applies himself. If you have a kid who's going to HBCU, who's a black student, which school do you think they're probably going to be most at home at? Are they going to be most at home at a Howard, or are they going to be most at home at a Harvard? I mean, it depends on the student.
But that opens up another issue, and that's the question of whether or not the university is a place where you should, quite frankly, want to feel most comfortable, or is it a place that?
Hold on, but wait, because you can't change the rules now. I mean, the school is the school. You're supposed to be able to. I mean,
that's a salient point.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you're a black student and you're in an environment that is kind of has a white supremacist undertone to it, then it shouldn't be like, well, to really learn, you got to get over that white supremacy and just go on and be and even if you're not comfortable, because the university part of the thing is to make you feel at home. Like that's the whole thing of the university. You're supposed to.
I think we'd be hard pressed to argue that the Harvard is some sort of bastion of white supremacy.
You would be
you would be hard pressed to find a more liberal institution that's gone further to, in fact, be more inclusive.
Really?
And beyond. Yes, I mean that's certainly the case.
I mean, like in terms of
Harvard's
what?
reputation.
In terms of what?
Well, in terms of its philosophy, I mean, for instance, Harvard constantly gets labeled as being a liberal institution because over 90% of its professors self-identify as being liberal.
Yeah, but liberal doesn't have much to do with the issue around race, because the liberals, when we're talking about societal racism, that's pervasive across all
of those things. I mean, they don't arrive at that conclusion in terms of, we're not talking about people who don't understand what these terms mean. They know full well what they mean. So when they self-identify, and when you see the scholarship, and when you see the advocacy that comes out of Harvard, that's on the forefront, the cutting edge of racial equality and inclusiveness and diversity.
I think, though, Steve, that with what Harvard has done, with all due respect, and they do fantastic work, but I think what they've done is they've used that endowment you talked about, the significant financial resources, to buy the perception that it's that significant. Wherein, if it depends on how you measure it, and to Abdel's point, it depends on how you measure it. So if you look at Howard University's School of Business, for instance, a few years ago, that there was a number that said that Howard University sends the business school, the undergraduate business school, sent more black students to Ivy League graduate schools than all the Ivy Leagues put together. So that if you use that measure, where does Harvard or any of those schools fall in the scheme of things? And that's not for me to diminish what Harvard's doing. All of them do terrific work. But I'm saying at the end of the day, really?
Right, but that's somewhat of an unfair comparison.
No. It's always unfair. If you use the ranking reports that people like to refer to, that's unfair, because if they use certain measures, one of the measures in one of the reports was the size of the endowment. Well, if you have HBCUs who've historically been underfunded and strapped for cash, then they end up falling in that regard.
Right. Well, that's exactly the point. I don't think that it's fair that we live in a world in which you have Harvards that have billions upon billions of dollars in endowment compared to other schools, but The reality is that Harvard takes that money and then allows you to utilize it as a student in a manner that simply isn't available to you other places.
But there are not a lot of black students enjoying that resource, though. There are not a lot of black students enjoying that resource.
Well, absolutely, and that's the whole issue of whether or not we can create a educational system that's equitable so that one can actually compete and be able to get into Harvard, not just simply,
or go to Howard, or just go to Howard. Fund Howard appropriately and go to Howard. Forget Harvard.
Right, exactly. And unfortunately, endowments are in large part a function of, the graduates who leave money to universities, people who begin large corporations and make billions and they decide to donate to their alma mater. And let's face it, Harvard has the kind of people who fill Wall Street, fill the courts, fill, the most elite institutions in this country. And they're quite well off. And when they pass on, they leave a great deal of money to their alma mater.
Yeah.
It's not fair, but are we going to tell them that they can't leave it to Harvard?
No, not at all. Not at all. Steve, I got to move though, man. I always appreciate you, man. Thanks for the debate. Appreciate it, man. That's my man, Steve from the Gold Coast. Taking our last break now. Don't call no more because we're done with the phone calls. I got a head cold and I'm tired of this, man. I'm not going to get my number. Stay tuned for more of the Family Meeting.
Hi, this is Jeff Lee, Eric's boy from HU. Keep listening to the Family Meeting.
Polaris is introducing a new way for you to get empowering financial advice, save and plan. If you are like a lot of people, you'd like to work with a financial planner, but don't know if you earn or have enough to invest. Save and Plan will allow us to work with nearly anyone from young professionals to retirees looking to travel the world. Save and Plan is simple. Just sign up to save on a systematic monthly basis directly from your account and gain access to a planner and our planning services. Once you sign up, Polaris gives you a customized financial plan, a real person to speak with, and information to help you make good financial decisions. Your dedicated planner is just an email or phone call away. Save and Plan offers empowering advice for everyone. Visit us at polarisadvice.com. Call us today at 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. That's 312-951-2606 or email us at polarisadvice.com. Save and Plan, empowering advice for everyone. Securities, insurance, and advisory services offered through FSC Securities Corporation. Member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Polaris Insurance Agency, Inc., which is not affiliated with FSC Securities Corporation.
Imagine a job where someone cares about you, your family, and your coworkers, and will sign a contract to that effect. That is what a union actually does for you. We've all heard the bashing, the insults, and hatred directed toward unions by powerful political elites and wealthy business bosses. For more information about your job interests, call SEIU Local 73 and ask for Tim Ball, 312-787-5868. Again, that number is 312-787-5868.
Itsashort.com. The website is itsashort.com, spelled ITFASHORT.com. We are the best designation on the internet for award-winning short film, video, and web series. Artists are from all over the world. They are award-winning from various festivals, but you can find us at info@itsashort.com, customer care at itsashort.com, and we'll get back to you straight away.
This is Vince Verzi, a consultant with BizBoom.com. Welcome back to the Family Meeting.
Yep, last segment here. I don't think that's a lyric at all, man. I don't think that's even a lyric for this song, man. Now you're making up lyrics for songs, man. Just stop that, man. Just stop, man. Actually, it's entertaining, though, so maybe you should continue to do that. We're here to amuse you. We're here to amuse you, of course. Okay, so let me clear out these last calls here. Let me start with my man Charles in Humboldt Park. Charles, what's up, man?
Hey, Charles. Hello. What's going on?
It's going well, man. How are you?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, living good here on the aluminum coast. Not like Steve on the Gold Coast.
Aluminum Coast. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys do that job. And, some people, they make fun of them guys that work and picking them cans. So let them work. They ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Take that aluminum. Keep working, brother. Keep move up. That's what I say. But Steve was going on and on. My God. Jesus.
Yeah, it
the neck.
kind of got to you a little bit, huh?
Tad bit.
Well, I think Steve made good points. I think he did. But
I thought he made good points too. About 18 seconds into his tirade, but it's a gone. Grandpa dead. We got to move on.
Yeah. What's on your mind, man? Let's see if you rant today. Are you going to rant for us today?
Not a rant. This is just rational thought. I had a good high school education, not like him, But I'm sad because people are voting for Donald Trump, and I'm smarter than him. I'm not saying that you aren't either, or your friends either, but my grandson's smarter than him too. And that's what scares the world out of me. And they're listening to this guy like he's a real politician, like he has a plan. Tell me this world has got to get smarter. Better than this. Help me out, please.
You know what? I figured this out. My little mini. I took a couple of psychology classes in college. I think I got this figured out. He's like a young child, a 4-year-old who's getting attention. He goes to these rallies and he watches these yahoos, these lunatics, cheer for him. These less than well-read people who are intellectual midgets cheer for him, and he feeds off of that. So he tells them anything to make him cheer more because it makes him feel good. I think that's what that's all about.
I mean, I want to do a rudimentary Middle East test with him about the history of Egypt, Syria. All those little countries are fighting all the time for no good reason since I was a little boy. I would ask him, who is Gamal Abdel Nasser?
I don't even know who that is, man.
Egypt.
Well, he was taken over by Anwar Sadat upon his death. And
all right, just go ahead and make me feel stupid because I don't know.
No, you're not stupid. I was just a dork when I was a kid. All I did was read books and stuff.
Well, that would make you a dork then. You're right.
We had black and white TV back then, so.
I did too. How old are you, man?
Me, I'm 57.
Okay, you ain't much older than me. Easy with the old stuff now.
No, just how you feel and how she feels too.
No, it ain't. You old. That's what it is. It doesn't matter how you feel.
Hey, look, I don't know what I ain't no teenager. I ain't never around to say that. Like, there's a lot of things my father said I can't say on the radio, but he had a lot of colloquialisms that made sense about age and stuff. But I know when I'm not going to ever try to straddle that again. No, forget it. But I'm just saying about now that so much is going on. I'm just looking at the Symbionese Liberation Army takedown in 1974. Oh, they got shot out and burned out by the police. It's week 3 going on now with these yahoos in Oregon. Why are we dealing with that way? Why are we just letting this stuff go on? I don't understand.
You know why.
No, I want it to be publicized. Like right now, people are just now getting all their last Obama hate out because he's gonna be gone pretty soon. A man voted into office, but they can't wait to keep blaming him for everything except the good things that he's done. So I want to know why. I know why, but I wish the news would tell them why.
That's one of the things that I think I'll go to my grave never being able to figure out how people have been able to be okey-doked into thinking that everything that went wrong was President Obama's fault.
And one more thing before I hang up. I know you got a little limited time. When I was working full time, there were certain holidays I would work and not care about, like 4th of July, things like that. Memorial Day I respected, Veterans Day I respect. But 4th of July, people would say, "You're pretty cheerful. You got to work on a holiday." I say, "Holiday? My people were slaves when that thing was being signed. I'm just working today."
There ain't no holiday. I got you.
I was a barbecue, but as far as we run around talking about how happy about freedom, we didn't get it yet. So how can I help you?
There you go. Hey, man, enjoy the rest of your weekend. King Holiday,
you too. My brother.
Okay, man.
Cheers.
Take care. He said cheers to you.
He's funny, man.
I know he is.
He's
Evo, what's up, man? Evo. Hey.
How you guys doing?
Okay.
Yes.
We've been anticipating this one, man. Talk to me.
I am Gibu very much. Yes, one of your callers twisted my neck like an owl, and I had 2 points to make, but I'd like to make one to preface those because of your caller talking about electronics and what's lost in society because of it, which is an interesting point. And I would like to point to, I used to teach at a religious university, and I would teach young married couples, childless young married couples was my pinpoint. You talk about psychology, but also, social helping society. I wanted to say what's lost in the electronic world today is this. I once showed a video, and I taught this class for about 11 years. And what's lost in this world is what you would see from a baby, let's say 18 months in a crib, using the word daddy. We showed no less than 9 different emotions from a child in a crib. Perhaps the child didn't know where the father was and he would say, "Daddy?" Or perhaps he would be scared and scream, "Daddy!" Or perhaps he would be anticipating his father to walk in the door, and the dad would walk in the door and the child would say, "Daddy." And if you look at that, there are some videos out there showing this. It was a study coming out of Cornell, actually. Absolutely brilliantly done. And the child showed so many different emotions with just one word, and it's total voice inflection. And that's my point, is I own a business aside from working for the satellite people. I depend totally on phone calls so I can hear people or talking in person, because you get a text message. For instance, my daughter texted me one time from college and said, "Dad, I gotta talk to you." And I thought, uh-oh, the hell does that mean? Is it like, "Dad, I gotta talk to you"? Or is it happy like, "Dad, I gotta talk to you"? That's what's lost, and it's incredible. Because if I were to shoot an estimate for a job for someone through an email or through a text, and they respond to me and they say the word "what," do I know? Are they going "what"? Or are they going "what"?
Yes. So I got you there. So the voice inflection is an important part of the communication. I got you there.
It's throughout right. Everything. And then going from voice inflection to actually body gestures, if you're in person, that's what I read. That's how I sell myself. It's very important. That's my point. And the last several callers you had, I got to say, if I were rating this, and believe me, we are, I would say, like, your last 6 callers were some of the most quality talk radio I've ever heard. And
you too kind.
Now to my second point. Okay, kaboom. Let me run.
Well, hurry up, man. We ain't got but a minute left.
Okay. All right. Bing, bing, bing. Here we go. Over the last week, the United States has lost 2 weather satellites and 1 communication satellite due to hacking. It's very bad, very bad. If you're online, you're exposed. If you clean up your banking stuff, clear your debit and your credit card stuff out of your computers, bada boom, bada bing, get it out. Secondly, Hillary Clinton, boom, 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 she's going down. There's going to be an indictment. She's going to lose her nomination. It ain't happening, and it's not going to be Bernie. It's probably going to be Elizabeth Warren, or perhaps Joe Biden jumps in.
Oh, that's big.
It is. It's going to happen, and I'm telling you right now, she is going to get indicted, and I'm going to be a funny Hebrew boy, and I'm going to say March 14th, boom, 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 here we go. Because they want to do it early so that the Dems can jump in and clean up their act and get somebody in there.
All right, we got you, man.
You guys next week.
Okay,
I'll
man.
talk to you guys. Love
Take
you
care.
guys.
Love you
You're
too,
the
man.
best.
Thanks.
Thanks
Appreciate
for
it.
taking my call, man.
All
Check
right.
it. Check it out.
You got it. See ya.
Okay.
That's interesting. He made some predictions there. I don't do predictions. So we'll see. That's what you can say, right? We'll see. We'll see. Okay.
Clinton's going down.
Yeah. She has a tough road.
Yeah, I just
with
heard.
Bernie in there, and me, by the way, too. She's got a tough way to go.
Yeah, what's up with you, man?
I'm still in there, man.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna sneak in the backside, man.
Before when I came, you was all. It was like at the beginning of the program. You know, we hit some in the middle, talking about you had a program. You had like a 10-point.
Why you living in the past, man? Why you living in the past?
I just noticed trends and we doing the projections.
No, see, this is the back door. I'm doing the back door. So they get me to throw the alley oop to me.
Okay.
And it's finna be on.
Who's gonna throw the alley?
The United States citizens are gonna throw me an alley oop. What? What's funny? What?
That's just the image. I don't know.
Yeah, I can't get a oop no more.
You could, yeah. I didn't know you were on the court, so I guess you
I'm on the court.
You're
Yeah,
on the
I'm
court.
on the
All right,
court,
right
yeah.
now.
I'm on the court. I'm getting ready to get the alley. I'm sneaking around the backside.
Okay.
It's gonna be sweet too, by the way.
Okay.
Probably one-handed. I might twist around a little bit, and I'll probably scream. Ah, like that. You know, they scream. I'll scream.
You got to be careful though, because y'all get injured. You know, you don't want to.
Yeah, at my age, I can get injured. Yeah, but I ain't worry about that because when I'm in the White House, it's on. They made a mistake of letting me get to the White House. There'll be nothing once I'm in the White House. There'll be nothing but talk of impeachment. That's all they're going to talk about.
Well, brother
Is
gets in the
impeachment.
White House. That's what they talk about, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But it's going to be hyper then because I'm going to be that guy.
Okay.
Rob knows I'm going to be that guy. So, you know, the president invites senators and congressmen over to the White House so they can talk about blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then the congressmen come out of the White House and there's a podium waiting for them.
Right.
And they come out and say something different than what we talked about.
Right.
Not going to happen, right, Rob?
No, it's not.
I'm going to be watching through the window.
Okay.
I'm going to look out the window. You're going to see the curtains move. I'm going to look at them through the window. And as soon as I hear him say something, I'm going to say, ho, wait a minute. That ain't what you said in there.
Like yelling out the window.
Yeah,
Oh.
like that. It's going to be bad. Although I don't think the White House window's open. But I'll go to the door
Go to
and
a
yell it
hover,
out.
get you a hoverboard, just kind of roll down there.
I might do that. Yeah. I'm going to be a president that doesn't wear a tie. Can you imagine me at the State of the Union not wearing a tie?
No.
And I'm going to start the State of the Union with, look here. Just like that.
Look here.
Look here. Like
Talking
grandpa
about
used to
country.
do.
That's country. Boy.
Yeah, so
Oh,
grandpa
that's
used to-
Southern.
but you listen when grandpa say, look here.
Well, you know they holler back at if you go to State of the Union though, they will say something back to you.
I wish they would, because I can play the dozens with the best of them. I got mama jokes piled up for years. What about your mama? I could do that to him all day.
That's funny though, what you was talking about earlier about first thing you should do though is make sure you talk about the word agreement. Teach America how to agree and disagree. We don't know. That's the same thing you was talking about with
Consensus.
one of the callers called in about Ryan. I think it was Paul from Seattle, Ryan or David. It was one of them. But you know, just about how just disgruntled he was looking, you know, and everything President Obama was saying that he didn't agree with, he didn't say anything, didn't clap about cancer.
Right.
But we teaching our kids how to show their disagreement in that way. We're teaching them.
Right.
That's what we're doing. We're showing them how to do that. And then
Conflict resolution.
Right.
Conflict resolution is good. Y'all teach that at Emerson?
Yeah.
Do you?
Conflict resolution, how to resolve a conflict.
Because the society doesn't know how to resolve conflicts now. That's a big
You have
problem.
to be aware of your internal conflicts.
Well, I mean, look at what happened with Iran this week. I mean, the president showed the value of diplomacy without threatening bombings and all kind of stuff. He got hostages back.
Right.
That's diplomacy. That's at some point everybody's going to have to say, okay, we through fighting. Let's get along. And the way to get there is not by throwing a bomb at them. Just make them mad. Listen, let's just stop throwing bombs at each other. Let's see if we can figure out a way to talk. And that's what the president's doing. That's conflict resolution at its best.
You can't make a movie about that though.
Name of the game in life is influence. I mean, everybody trying to be the most influential person in the room. Everybody who cracked their mouth open trying to get their way, so to speak.
That's right. What's your blog site, man?
It's Mr. Know-It-All.
MrKnowItAll.com.
.blogspot.com.
MrKnowItAll.blogspot.com.
Yeah.
That's long. We'll put it on our Facebook page too.
Okay,
Check
right.
Abdel Secure out right there. If he ever writes again, you'll find it there. Tune into the family meeting every Sunday at 4. I am your host, Eric Grant. You got something, man?
Unless both sides win, there's no permanent agreement.
I like that. We'll go with that. Tune in every Sunday at 4. I thank y'all for taking the time. Peace.